Hello and welcome to this quick grounding yoga class. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to help support my channel. And let's start in a kneeling position at the back of our mat, hands on the legs. And then let's come to all fours. Shoulders above the wrists, hips above the knees, spread your fingers nice and wide. Have a little wiggle. And then we're going to come into our cat-cow. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, drop it down, really arch the back. Exhale, reverse, draw that belly button up towards the ceiling. Inhale, down. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, down. Open the chest. Exhale, reverse, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, down. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, down. Exhale, reverse. And then let's come back to a neutral spine. Let's take the right leg out behind you, tuck the toes onto the ground, and just gently rock back and forth, feeling that slight calf stretch, feeling the ground beneath you. Try not to let the belly dip down too much. And then step that right foot up in between the hands and find your low lunge. Front knee above the front ankle. Sink those hips as low as possible. Maybe again have a little wiggle, moving those hips side to side. Just let your hips settle in. Tuck your back toes under, come up off of the knee, find yourself in a runner's lunge. We're going to ground down through the right foot, lift your hands up in line with your body, so pointing behind you. Balance through your right foot. You're going to hop up, bring your hands up above your head. As you do, bring that left knee up in front of you for what I call flamingo pose. Finding some balance, keeping that core turned on. Then gently pivot forward, so lean your upper body down, kick your left leg out behind you, fingertips come down to the ground for your standing split, so left leg reaches as high as possible. Maybe using your right hand on your right leg to pull your upper body closer. And then gently release the left leg next to the right for your forward fold. You can grab hold of opposite elbows. You can shake your head yes and no, make sure your neck is nice and loose. Maybe gently rock side to side. Keep a slight bend of the knees here to really release the upper back. Gently release the hands down to the ground. Bend the knees, sit your hips back, arms come in line with the ears for your chair pose. Focus on that slow breath. Bring the hands down to the floor, forward fold. Step your left leg back, lower the left knee, untuck the toes, and then shift your hips back, straighten the right leg, toes point up towards the ceiling for your half splits. Fold over that front leg if it feels okay on your body. It's okay to have a slight bend in that front knee if you need to. And then we're going to shift our left foot over to the right side of your mat. Keep bringing your hips back until you come to seated. And then place your left foot next to the right. It's a little bit of a weird transition there. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, fold over your right leg. I always like to place my left hand on the outside of my right leg just to make sure my torso is staying straight towards the ground and not opening to the side. And then come on back up. You're going to bring your hands to behind you. Flip over, but to your downward facing dog. So your downward facing dog is facing the back of the mat. And then lower the knees to all fours. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So this time take your left leg back, tuck the toes under, gently rock back and forward, stretching through that calf muscle. And then step that left foot up in between the hands, find your low lunge. Sink your hips down as low as possible. Maybe wiggling the hips side to side, find a little bit of movement, a little bit of release in the hips. Tuck your right toes under, come up off of the right knee. Find some balance. Bring the arms in line with the torso, fingertips pointing behind you. Ground down for your left foot. Come into your flamingo pose, hands up above your head, right knee up in front of you. So as you slide forward, you can kind of scrape your right foot along the floor for a little bit more balance. Hold it here, core turned on. And lean your torso forward, kick your right leg behind, hands come down to the ground, find your standing splits. Maybe left hand comes behind and grabs hold of the left calf. As you pull yourself closer, lifting that right leg as high as it will go today. Slowly release the right leg next to the left for your forward fold. Maybe grabbing hold of opposite elbows. Gently rocking side to side. Releasing the hands down, bend the knees, sit the hips back, arms in line with your ears for your chair pose. Gently release back into your forward fold. Step the right foot all the way back, lower the knee. Shift your hips back for your half split. Straighten the left leg, toes point up towards the ceiling, and fold over your left leg. Move your right foot over to the left side of your mat. Keep walking back, shift your hips back, come to seated. Right foot against the left thigh. Inhale the hands up, and then fold over the left leg. Take some slow inhales and exhales here. Imagine that belly button getting closer to the leg. Come on back up, hands come behind you, swivel around to downward facing dog, facing the front of your mat. Bring your knees behind your wrists, plant them on the ground. Shift your feet to one side to come to seated. I'm going to roll all the way back, down on our mat. Hug those knees in. Open the knees wide, come into your happy baby. Hands on the inside of your legs, and then grab hold of the outer edges of your foot or your ankles, and open your feet up. So your knees are coming more towards the outside of your shoulders. Soles of the feet are facing up towards the ceiling. And if it feels okay, gently rocking side to side, nice and slowly. Maybe even straightening the legs for a little bit of a deeper hip opening. Bend back into the knees. Plant your feet flat on the ground. Lengthen out. Let's come into our Shavasana pose here. Maybe bring your arms nice and wide in line with the shoulders. Feel free to take up space here. I think we always try to keep ourselves quite small, so let's open up. Feel the ground beneath you, supporting you. That deep inhale through the nose, that long exhale out. Maybe repeating to yourself here, I am grounded, I am safe. Slowly bring the hands up above the head, take a big stretch, roll onto one side, and slowly push yourself up to seated. Hands down by the side. Let's take a big inhale as we sweep the hands up, hands come together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you do struggle with hamstring flexibility, don't forget to download my 5-day free challenge. The link is in the description below.